Welcome to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am thrilled to have you join me on this transformative journey. You see, every day we dive into a powerful conversation about self-discovery, healing, and empowerment. This podcast is brought to you by Ask Nyomi and Elevate Me Self-Discovery, where we believe that loving yourself is the first step to living a fulfilling life. You can expect insightful discussions, practical tips, and inspiring stories. Plus, we'll occasionally welcome special guests who will share their unique perspectives on self-love and personal growth. So get comfy, grab your favorite beverage, and let's embark on this journey together. Because it's time to embrace the beautiful person that you are. So let's elevate our lives one episode at a time. Now let's get started. All right, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and I am so grateful for you joining me today for this powerful episode. We are focusing on living life abundantly. That is our new series for this month, as we are diving into what it means to live with the mindset of abundance, to fully embrace the richness of life that has to offer, and to let go of the limitations of scarcity thinking. Scarcity thinking. That's what we all about, limitation of letting it go. All right. But before we get into today's discussion, I want to invite you all to join us on our upcoming 10-day book challenge starting on November 11th. We'll be reading Bob Proctor's incredible book, Change Your Paradigm, Change Your Life. And each day we will cover reflection, insights, and actionable steps, all shared in our private community page for accountability and connection. And you'll be able to join others who are shifting their mindset to one of prosperity and self-empowerment. And together we will hold each other accountable in this transformative journey. And if you'd like to join the challenge, you can purchase the book through the links, and I'll share it in our show notes, available on Amazon or Audible. And I can't wait to see how this book impacts each of us as we shift towards abundance together. Well, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, I'm going to share a nice little testimony story with you all on how we got upon this, about this Audible, how this challenge, or how we're going to go about this. All right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on the Season of Self-Love podcast, and we'll be right back. What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our website,
really
the Season of Self-Love podcast.com. Let me ask you this, with the truth, is it Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and make sure you tune in every Thursday night to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, where we talk about everything from love, sex, relationship, cultural differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all, and we even talk about spiritual uplifting. You need to stop by. Me and Dr. Mike, as well as the BTG crew. We have some amazing guests that come through. You never know. Just make sure you tune in Thursday night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to xnyomi.com and tell them Nyomi sent you. All right, well, welcome back to the Season of Self-Love podcast. I am your host, Nyomi Banks, and today we're talking all about scarcity. We are in a new series, The Life of Living Abundance. But before we begin this episode, I want to do a nice short guided meditation just to help us to open up to the concept of abundance, all right? So if you are in a safe space, I want to invite you to close your eyes or just simply soften your gaze and take a deep breath in. Now slowly exhale out. Now let's do that again. I want you to inhale slowly, deeply in, filling your lungs with fresh and new energy. Now exhale, releasing any tension. Now as you continue to breathe, I want you to picture your ideal life. One where you are surrounded by love, joy, and limitless opportunities. I want you to visualize abundance flowing freely to you. I want you to feel how light has expansive through this energy. And I want you to picture your dreams unfolding before you, one by one, as you open yourself up to receive them. Now I want you to focus on two words just for one moment. One word is abundance, and the other word is scarcity. With that word abundance, I want you to inhale it deeply. I want you to inhale abundance. I want you to hold it for one moment. Now I want you to think about the word scarcity, and I want you to exhale it. Now I want you to let go of any limited beliefs. I want you to make space for abundance in every area of your life. And I want you to know that you are worthy, that you are deserving, and that you are fully capable of living in your life, the life that you envision. Now I want you to take one more deep breath in. Now slowly exhale. Now when you are ready, I want you to gently open your eyes and bring your awareness back to this present moment. If you're new here to the Season of Self-Love podcast, this is something that we do every day, Monday through Friday, here just to help ground us before we get into the topic of hand. All right? All right, so let's dive into our topic today, shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. First, let's talk about what scarcity mindset actually is. It's when we are operating from a scarcity where we often focus on what's lacking in our lives. Be it time, money, resources, or even love, we may feel anxious or fearful, worried that there's never enough or that we somehow are going to fall short. That can be incredibly limiting and hold us back from experiencing life fully, right? Now, contrast with an abundance mindset. When we cultivate abundance, we shift our focus from what we lack to what we have and what we're capable of attracting into our lives. You see, an abundance mindset fosters personal growth, creativity, and fulfillment. But instead of seeing opportunities as scarce or limited, we recognize that there's more than enough for everyone, including us. So I remember reflecting on this during my day 8 of reading the Change Your Paragon, Change Your Life. And this book was written by Bob Proctor. And Bob Proctor talks about our beliefs. Our beliefs shape our reality, right? And how powerful it is to shift those underlying beliefs to the ones that serve us. See, and this really struck me because I realized how many of my own limited beliefs were rooted in scarcity. It was a wake-up call for me. And it was a wake-up call for me to start embracing an abundant mindset. And it's been very transformative in a journey ever since. So let me share this story with me. And remember I said that I wanted to share a testimony story with you. And for season 2 of Season of Self-Love, I came back focused. I came back driven more than ever. I came back. When I mean schedule, I had my schedule packed. I have guests that's lined up. I had ebooks outlined, ebooks done before time, series, everything mapped out, everything. All right? Feeling great, working out, everything. All of a sudden, now I'm feeling good. All of a sudden, the month of October, this is crazy. The month of October, my birthday, I'm knocked down. And when I mean I'm knocked down, I'm literally knocked down. I go into my mom's room and I'm giving her her morning tea, the lion's mane morning tea. So I add like a teaspoon of lion's mane in both of our teas, right? And so, I had been getting, my migraines had been coming back hard. And so I figured, just a little bit of rest. Maybe I've just been stressing a little bit. I'll get through it. I've been getting through it for the past 15 years. I'll get through it. But on this particular day, I had just been feeling like dizzy, like the room had been spinning. All right. Before I thought, well, maybe these are just after on sites from COVID. I don't know. I just didn't know what it was. But when I went and I gave her tea, I remember my body shifting. And before I knew it, I was on the floor. And I'm like, wow, like I just like, what the heck was this? And it was like my balance was completely off. And I remember trying to get up and I couldn't get up. And it was like the room was spinning even more. The room was spinning even more. And I was like, okay, what's happening? That was like the start of it's happening. And I remember, ironically, the series of last month was the Act of Balancing Life, right? And I remember I was so excited for that. It's because, October, Libra, scales, we had some incredible guests on, like everything. I remember the ebook. I remember working on the ebook even towards, the beginning and towards the middle. Like it was exciting because I kept adding more and more, pages to it. What started off of 50 pages ended up 102, 104 pages. So I was so excited about like everything was happening. But before I knew it, I couldn't get out of the bed. In October, I could not get out of the bed most of the days between my migraines and vertigo. Yes. Now you can say, Nyomi, that was miserable. It was miserable because I didn't know what was going on with me. But I was excited to get up because I knew I wanted to work. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I was living in my purpose. I knew that I wanted to get into this studio. I knew I wanted to sit in front of my guests and see what was going on with their life and what they can possibly do and speak and say that can help you in your lives, even my life. What's another book that I can read? So as I was going and thinking, I was like, wow. And then all of a sudden, everything just stopped. And then my migraines just started to get worse to where it felt like I had like got this strong hit in the back of my head, and it felt like water that was coming down through the back of my head. I'm like, what is that? And then finally, I've been trying to get a doctor's appointment, and finally something came through and I was able to go get a doctor's appointment. It was so crazy because it was like doctor's appointments was opening up, boom, 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 boom. I had a doctor's appointment every week, 1 or 2. I was like, wow. When I was trying to get in, I couldn't get in. Now all of a sudden they're all open. Like, wow. So I'm taking all of these blood tests, like blood tests, everything. And get in there and tell me, well, sound like you got vertigo. Okay, we want to give you some medication. We want to do this, we want to do that. All right, we need to give you an MRI. Okay, we need you to take medication, such. We need you to do this, blah, 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 blah. All right, so I'm listening to everything and I'm understanding everything. And now it's like, okay, it's time for me to truly be obedient. But now I'm trying to understand, I've been doing everything right. So why am I at this standstill? Why am I at this standstill? Why am I once again shut down? Because I believe that I'm doing everything right. I'm growing, I'm applying everything, right? I'm living in my purpose, happy, right? So what is this? What is this? See, when things happen like this, I always say there is something that I'm missing. There is something that the universe is trying to tell me. There is something that God is trying to tell me. There is something that my spirits are trying to tell me, that either I'm moving too fast, I'm slowing down, or I'm not aligned with something. So now I'm trying to figure out, what am I not aligned with? What are you not aligned with? Young lady, what are you not aligned with? So now I'm trying to actively figure it out. Now my mind is racing. Because if once I'm trying to figure out, what do we do? What have I done wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I missing? Because I don't want to stop anything. I want to be able to do everything that I set my heart and my mind to, because I love to do this. It was at a point in time that I even said in question, am I not supposed to do this? Is this what's stressing me? Usually I'm ahead of time. Usually I have my ebooks. Lately I've been having my ebooks done a month before. And the only reason why October was, it was actually done. But as I was proofreading it before the launch date, it was so much more that I wanted to put in it. And so I kept adding and adding and adding. And if anybody had purchased the ebook before, it's a revised version from the first one. Because I just kept adding things and adding more things and adding more things, adding more worksheets. Because as I was going through things, I was reading, I was remembering things. I was like, oh, I forgot to put that in there. Oh, I forgot to put that. Just as things was just happening, life was just, I was like, oh, I forgot to put that in there. And then even speaking with some of my guests gave me, oh man, that's a good one. I missed that one. Let me put that in there. And so here comes this one. Here comes this series, this month's series. Living life abundantly. Whew. I said, oh, I got this one. Yeah, I got this one. I already got it written out. All I got to do was just put it together. I even got the mini one together. 5 tips on how to not live, 5 tips on how to not live a limited mindset. Got it all written down, everything. Now I have to take everything that I've written and put it in a format, right? Couldn't do it. Every time I sat at the computer to do it, I got a massive migraine. Every single time. But this is the crazy. I can get up, go record an episode or edit, be fine. But as soon as I start to do something with the ebooks, on this particular series, it was like, no. I was like, what the hell? Then the room started spinning. And these were the days that I was feeling well. So, I was trying to get everything in on those days that I was feeling well, right? All right, so fast forward. On a day that I'm feeling good, so I'm up cooking breakfast for my baby girl. I'm talking to my man on the phone, and I'm quite frustrated. I am quite frustrated. It is now, my birthday has now passed. And I'm like, okay, I laid it low for my birthday. It took me, I was down, I got up on Friday, celebrated some on Friday. It took me 3 days to do a balloon thing, but I was, did my little thing for them 3 days. Real low key, kept it real low key, really low key. And I still felt crappy. My body felt crappy. I felt tired. But I wanted to do so much more things. And I was wondering, what am I doing wrong? And I remember being so frustrated because, again, I said, I am so happy in what I am doing. I even put out a video. Remember, I was doing the 72 hard. Remember, I started the 72 hard on the 17th. Because remember, the 72 hard was going to take me out of the year. Well, I was going to read 2 books. Well, I was going to do 2 workouts a day. I'm going to do 2 workouts a day. Eat balanced meal. All of this. And this was after I was diagnosed with vertigo. This is after everything. Now I'm on medication. I'm not really understanding what vertigo is, but I'm trying to work through it because, I'm an athlete. I know how to get to, work out and stuff like that. I'm Google researching. I've been to the, physical therapy. I saw the exercises that they did. Mind you, she told me that you will be, this will be harder than what you think. It might seem easier, but it will get harder before it gets better. It will get worse before it gets better, excuse me. But I underestimated it. On top of the migraines. Mind you, I hadn't been taking medication for my migraines in umpteen years. And so now they have to find something to regulate, to help maintain the pain that I have been feeling for so many years. All right. So now I again back questioning what's happening. What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Because it's happening for a reason. Remember, things happen for a reason. What did I miss? What am I doing? What's happening here? I remember on the phone with my man as I'm getting ready to take my baby to school. I made her breakfast. She's upstairs getting ready. And I remember sitting down on the phone. And I remember I was so frustrated. And I remembered the prayer I said out loud on the phone with him. And I remember the prayer was like, send me somebody, send me something. And I remember later that day, my sister called and she said, I was just calling to check up on you. I said, I'm all right. I said, I'm doing good. And she said, okay. And I said, but I did have this little whatever. Because usually I'm the one who, uplifting people and talking. And then she was like, well, she said, this lady came into my store today. And she told me about a book. And she sent me the book. And she said, and it's free until Friday, the 25th. I said, great. I said, I'm going to go see my oldest daughter so I can listen to it on the flight when I leave out on Thursday night. And she said, no, I think you probably should get it tonight and start reading it. I said, okay, I'll do that. I did. I got it. I downloaded. I got it Wednesday morning. I got up Wednesday morning and I started listening to it Wednesday morning. And that was Change Your Paragon, Change Your Life. And I remember one of my previous guests, I remember her saying it to me, and I believe it was, I want to say Melissa. I believe it was Melissa, and I'm going to have to go back and listen to that show, but I believe it was her that told me about this book once before. And it just went right over my head. But I remember listening to this book, and as he was talking about the paragon, he was talking about the paragon as being some of our old habits that we get into. But it was one particular that set out to me is about the mind scarcity. About we always say how we want to be rich or we want to be wealthy, but we live poverty. We live in a poverty mindset. But we want to be, or we say we want, but we still live in a poverty mindset. It was so many gems that he had in this book. And I remember listening to the book. I listened to that book all day. It's 5 hours. 5 hours I listened to that book as I was cleaning, as I was preparing for Thursday's show with Miss Nat. I listened to that book. And I remember at the end of that book, I finished reading that book. Actually, I went to go back to read it again. And I remember when I finished reading that book, and at the end of the book, it asks you to commit to 60 days to reading 30 minutes a day. Either read it or listen to it for 30 minutes a day, at least 30 minutes a day, and find an accountability partner. And so I said, since my sister sent it to me, who better else to be my accountability partner is her. I respect her. She respects me. Let's do it. But also, I'm going to send it to two of my good sisters who I know will read it and challenge them to send it to someone else. And sure enough, at least one of my girlfriends did it. I don't know what the other one did. I think she said she listened to it, but I still don't know if she finished listening to it. But my other girlfriend, she did. She listened to it and she sent it to a family member of hers. But as I continue to listen to it, I say, yeah, this is it. This is the one right here. This is the book. That's why I couldn't do this series. That's why I couldn't write this ebook, because I had to change my paradigm. And until I do that, I can't sit here honestly to continue to talk to y'all about some stuff until I change my stuff. Does that make sense, y'all? So if my mindset is still of scarcity, if my mindset is still back into that old paradigm, how can I talk to you about living in abundance fully? Even though I am very real and raw and authentic in my journey, in my mess ups, in my fuck ups, or whatever we call it. But still, it's so important to understand what truly living in your abundance means. But also, let's even add on about helping people change their paradigm, changing their habits, and understanding what that means. So when I talk about in the beginning about the 10-day book challenge, that's just the beginning of something that I want to do. It's just the beginning of something that I truly want to make bigger. And I want to test it out. And like I told my sister, I said, I know this is just supposed to be between you and I. I said, but no, I think this is bigger than us. I said, I think that this is something that needs to be shared with the world. So if there's 30, 40, 1,000 people, however many people are listening to this podcast, whether they're listening in real time today or 10 years from now, 5 years from now, a month from now, or whatever, and they're listening to this, and they can go and grab that Audible, or they can grab that book, and they can go to the private community, because it will still be up. Or 10 years from now, where it'll be on another platform, but bigger and better, and go into that platform. Guess how many more people that it has touched? So now we're changing our thought pattern. We're changing our mindset. We're changing everything that was taught to us to be wrong. There were so many gems in this book. So many. So many. But that is how we came upon that. And that's why I say that it was such a wake-up call for me. And I truly have started embracing it. And I know my sister's going to be upset with me, but I wanted to share this story with you all. Is that I think we were like in day 3 of it. And I was in Texas with my daughters. And I remember getting up that morning. listening to the Audible and writing my thoughts. So what we do every morning is we do our 30 or whatever, how many, usually we listen about an hour of the Audible. We really listen to it and take notes or whatever and see how it apply what we get from it. And then we'll, text each other, what we got out of it, what, stuck out to us, and go back and forth from there. And on this particular day, I had did it, but I hadn't heard back from her. So the next morning had came, and I had gotten a message from her. It had to be about 5 o'clock that next morning. And, she had emailed me. She had texted me. And she was like, "Good morning, sis. Such and such, such. I reread your message yesterday and such and such and such and whatever. And, and I read it, and it was a great message. It was a beautiful message. And it felt good to receive it. But the day before, listen to me when I said it, the day before, I felt some type of way. And let me tell you why I felt this type of way. Because I felt like, was I pushing her? Was I doing too much to her? Because I knew that we both committed to this 60-day, 30 minutes a day read, and that we were both each other's accountability. And I remember listening and saying that we both respect and love each other, that we will be each other accountability partners. And if I was to do that, I would want her to do that the same for me. The first thing that I said is, I hope nothing happened that you were unable to hit me back on the text. And I said, I'm not trying to slash out or anything to you, but my thing is that we need change. We need to change our paragon. We need to change, because I'm seeing what our paragon is doing in real time, in real life, right now. And we have to change it. So our kids and our kids' kids can see and learn differently from what we've learned. And that's what we have to think about when we think about changing your paragon, to change your life. Because not only are you changing your life, but you're changing your children's life and your children's futures of your children's children. Does that make sense? So, and when I sent it to her, she quickly, sent it right back to me. She said, "Sis," she said, "no." She said, I received it. And she said, "And you are right." She said, "The day just got away from me, and I apologize, and it will never happen again." She said, "But thank you for that." She said, "No, I take no offense to it at all." She said, "Because you are right." I said, "Because we can't do this. We can't keep doing this and fall back." See, this is why I love my good girlfriends, because we can make each other accountable and don't get offended by it. We're not yes men to each other, and we're not mean to each other either. We are each other's biggest cheerleaders. But we also gonna be there and say, "Girl, come on now. Not coming from a judgy place, never coming from a judgment, but telling them that's not your goddess behavior." Does that make sense, y'all? That's not your king behavior, man. That's not what that is. And sometimes we got to check ourselves. So that, when I thought about doing this even after, and I was going to implement this book within this series, I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, play on this? And I said, and I hope it doesn't get too preachy, too preachy for you all. And if it is, oh well. Oh, sorry. Oh well. But the thing is, no, I'm not sorry. Oh well. Oh well. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh well. Oh well. But look, We're gonna talk about some quick practical tips and stuff like that. All for it. Um, and I'm still thinking about towards the middle of the month, if I get back in front of that computer and I feel good and it feel like I'm aligned to really get going with the ebook, I might release the ebook towards the end of the month. But right now, no. I will be talking throughout some of the episodes about some of the chapters in the ebook. Sure enough, will. And I might even release some of the workbooks through our mailing list. That's a thought. That's a thought right there. That's a thought right there that I might do it. All right, so let's talk about practical tips to cultivate abundance mindset. All right, so how can we start thinking or shifting our thinking to embrace abundance? So here are a few practices that have been incredible, helpful for me. Now we talk about this. We talked about this before. About the daily affirmations. So every morning, I like to start with affirmations that reinforce abundance for me. So simple phrases like, I am worthy of abundance, or I attract opportunities that align with my highest good can make a huge difference. And these affirmations remind us of our worth and our ability to bring positive energy into our lives. So let me say this. This is something that I learned within this book. It's something that Bob Proctor talked a lot about. He talked a lot about about conscious and being emotional in your desire of your wants. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? So he said you have to desire your want. So when you say, I am worthy of abundance, or I attract opportunities that align, there has to be an emotion with that. You have to feel that in your spirit, in your bones. So let me share this little story with you all right now. This funny. This right here, this is some funny TT for y'all. Because I'm getting ready, because we talked about visualization before too. When I tell you so many things that this man drops in this book, it's so many. It's so many gems that he drops in this book with the visualization. It's amazing. And I know because we talk about it a lot, because we've talked about it a lot. So many different times. Okay, hold on, because I'm jumping above. So let's talk about gratitude practices first, and then we'll talk about visualization. First, let's talk about gratitude practices. This is something that we actually started the new year off. Remember, we started off the 9 days of gratitude, right? The gratitude challenge, right? So practicing gratitude is one of the quickest ways to shift from scarcity to abundance. So when we focus on what we already have, we are telling ourselves that we are already abundant. I encourage you to write down 3 things that you are grateful for each day and notice how it transforms your mindset. It is something that I've been doing forever. But now what I do is every morning that I wake up, I bring it down to 10 things that I am grateful for. And it has nothing to do with anything financial or anything like that. It always has to do with a person in my life. Or better yet, even with my career. Even things that are bad. You understand what I'm saying? Like I think I'm thankful for my heartaches. Why I'm thankful for my heartaches? Because now I know what love looks like. Does that make sense? So it's so many things that I understand what I am grateful for that people are like, why are you grateful for that? Because now I know what it looks like when it's positive. Now I know what a different perspective on life looks like. I know what that looks like. I know what not having to having looks like. I know what being poor to having money looks like. I know the difference. I know what it feels like to be fulfilled and what you love to do than before just doing something for money. I know what it feels like now. I know what it feels like now. I am fulfilled in what I love to do, but guess what? My paragon keeps telling me that, oh, you need some money for this. You stressing, you got to get money for A, B, C, and D. When if I look around here, I am so wealthy. I am so wealthy. I have everything possible that I need to be so successful. Everything possible. I am wealthy. That's what there should be not a care in the world for me. Even when you think, well, didn't you say that your mama had she got dementia? But you know what? But she's still on this earth. That's the only thing that's wrong with. She ain't got no high blood pressure. She ain't got no cancer. She ain't got none of that. But I still have moments with her. Those moments are precious. But also in that dimension, there was a gift in there for me. And that gift was learning patience. Y'all see how that happened? So do y'all understand why I was trying to figure out, okay, now that I've been laid down for this time, what did I miss? God, show me, what did I miss? Then you study sending me these amazing guests that keep giving me these different messages from you. One after the other, bam, 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 bam. Just confirmation after confirmation. You right where you supposed to be. Your journey, you being on them sets, those people that you met, those countries that you've been in. You're supposed to have been through all of those things, those people, all of that. For you to be sitting here right now, to be able to talk to those people, to be able to talk to these people that you're talking to right now. Mary, James, Sue, Charmaine, Jose, Peter, Paul, Tony, Scott. Debbie, Jessica. I can't name you all, but you know. You can sit and talk to them and they can be like, man, that happened to me. So be thankful for all of it. And so what you did that, let them throw it in your face. Throw it in your face for what? Because you did do that. Okay, Ian? So now let's talk about the visualization technique. This is so powerful, and I think I shared with y'all months ago about how powerful it is, because I used to do it every day. And I used to want to stay right there when I used to have those visualization techniques. I didn't want to come back. And if you all missed that show, I'm going to remind you on what visualization techniques are. This is a very powerful tool. You take a few moments each day to close your eyes and you visualize yourself living your most abundant life. You see yourself succeeding, thriving, and feeling fulfilled. You visualize it in vivid detail, because when you can see it in your mind, you are already one step closer to bringing it into reality. But see, I went to a 5D type where I was feeling it, I was smelling it, I was hearing it. Let me tell y'all this little funny story. It just happened in real time just the other day. All right, so I was on a cleaning spree. This is the day, one of the days that I'm feeling good. I've been taking my medication. This has been a day that I've been feeling okay, right? All right. So I got up, cleaned off my work desk, doing everything right. Right. And I just got off the phone with my sister. She was on her off day, right? Finished, listening to, Mr. Proctor, get ready to, say, okay, I'm going to do this day of cleaning, and tomorrow I'm going to go in and, start getting my shows together for next week and stuff, right? Why I see something run past my feet? Well, actually run. Yeah, it ran past my feet, but it was far away from my feet, but it ran past my feet. I jumped on the bed. I know I didn't just see what I just saw. So I instantly screamed. I screamed, jumped on my bed. My mom ran in the room. I got on the phone, called my baby, like, I think I saw a mice. Yes, a mouse. They're like, Naomi, how you get a mouse in your house? I don't know. Either I left the door. It's getting cold here in Vegas. I don't know if I left the door. I do. I leave the back door open and let my dog out, Zara, in and out, to let her in and out. But also, we just pulled the carpet on the stairs because I'm getting ready to put down some new stuff on the carpet. And so it's like openings that's between the walls and the staircase. So I don't know. Because I was gone for the weekend, a long extended weekend. So I don't know. I hadn't been home. But I saw this little thing and I was definitely afraid of mice. So I'm sitting on the bed, I'm on the phone, and he like, baby, what's happening? I just seen a mice. He said, oh man, what you want to do? I'm ready to move. That's my first note. I'm ready to move. Then all of a sudden, I hear, no, you're going back to your old paradigm. See, when something happens, a fear sets in, what happens? You shut down and you go back to your safe space. I said, I can't do that. You can't do that anymore. So you got to figure this out. All I hear my mom say is that she funny. She gonna go get it. She kept calling me little punk. I didn't care. I said, you my mom, I was supposed to call you to get it. So now she back. She thinks she gangster because she think I'm young now. She think I'm a youngie now. I don't care. Just if you can find the mice, go find it. Go find it. She didn't find it. She ain't find it. She ain't find it. All right, so I'm now sitting on the bed and I am actively talking myself into, okay, you can do this. You can do this. Okay, get your headphones on, turn back on this book and start listening to it again because you need to get your mind right. You need to get your mind right because you're starting to slip back, right? So I go back. And so I text my sister, and she know both of us are definitely afraid of mice. So she said, girl, I know you downstairs. I know you ready. I know you in your car ready to go to the hotel. I'm like, I said, no. Now I'm in the text. I'm like, no, girl, I'm about to do this. I'm not going back to that. I'm changing my paragon. I'm not going back to that. That mice ain't gonna get me. So I'm on the phone. Now she's called me. Now we're on the phone and I'm talking and I'm folding clothes, putting clothes in my drawer, and I'm talking. So then I start talking to her and my mom. We all in the room, and now I got bright ideas on how we gonna get catch this little mouse because it's a little mouse. So I'm gonna how to catch a mouse. I said it's a little bitty mouse. I said all I gotta do is get a box, let the mouse run into the box, and then we close the box, and then I take the box and then I run with the box. Now I'm talking to her as I'm telling with the box. Then all of a sudden I feel the box move. Y'all, I ain't got no damn box in my hand. But I feel the mouse move within the box. And I scream. This is how powerful the visualization is. So as I do it, and I start screaming, my mom screaming, my sister like, what's happening? You see it again? I said, no. I said, I felt the mouse in the box that I visualized. And she said, oh, hell no. And she wanted to hang up the phone on me. But I'm telling you how vivid it can be for when you visualize some stuff. Does that make sense to y'all? Like, see, I just had to share that story. I just had to share that little story with you all. But when I say that changing your mindset and elevating your mindset is an amazing thing, especially when we're talking about changing your paragon and about changing your life and about living abundantly with your life, man, man. So those three practices that I gave you, those just a few. Those are just a few. Just a few. And if you have any, I would love to hear about your own strategies as well. So do this. Share your own thoughts with me on social media or within our private community page. Um, the more we support each other on this journey, the stronger that we can when the mindset become. All right, so, as we ended this show, again, if you are ready to take the journey even further, I'd love to invite you to join our 10-day book challenge starting on November 11th. We'll be diving into the Bob Proctor, Change Your Paragon, Change Your Life, which is filled with insights on transforming limited beliefs and embracing abundance. Each day we'll cover readings, reflections, and actionable steps to apply these concepts in our lives. All right, this challenge is more than just reading a book. It's about creating accountability and transformation together. I'll be there to guide you, and you'll be able to connect with others who are on the same journey. You can purchase the ebook on Amazon or Audible, and I'll include the links in the show notes. And I can't wait to see the shifts that you experience as we go through this book together. Now, I have Audible. And why? Because it's so easy for me. I think I will get the book just so I can highlight some things. But it'll probably be later when I have time to kind of really sit down with it. But right now, I have the Audible so I can hear it as I'm doing other things, and then I take notes from it. But again, do so. Do so. I think it will be fun. I think it'll be a great start to something that I think is going to be I know that it's going to be an amazing thing for us to be doing every month here on the Season of Self-Love. Really a program that we're going to implement in our Elevate Me Self-Discovery program. I just love how everything is just coming together. And I'm respecting and understanding and embracing how all of this has come together. I remember just having a short conversation going back and forth with Dr. Will last week. And I remember he said, do you have your scheduling together, everything together? I said, no, I'm just waiting because I think I jumped into the driver's seat too quickly. And that's what I meant about me being, slowed down or set down for a minute. And I had to pay attention and understand what was going on. And I think that's what's happening. I know that's what's happening to me now. And now I understand it. So now I'm paying attention and I'm understanding exactly what it is. And right now I'm back in the passenger seat riding. I yet again surrendering. I put my hand on that wheel and I had to take my hands off. Slap my hand. Had to take my hands off. But there's going to be a lot of things, a lot of topics that we're going to talk about in this book. And we're going to repeat it again. We're going to repeat some things. We're going to go into next month's series as well. Yeah, we are. I mean, this is an amazing book. And I can't wait till you, my listeners, till you really tap into it. And I can't wait to hear y'all transformation. I cannot wait. Because when I talk about next year being the rebirth, man, I'm excited. I'm excited that I was able to get this one out the gate. This first episode of this series out the gate. We got an amazing guest that's coming on tomorrow. Oh, Chris. Chris is a funny man. You will hear all of his New York, New Jersey accent coming through. Amazing guests coming on tomorrow. Great. We got some great guests the rest of this month as well. But yeah. But again, I would love to hear from you all. What are your thoughts on shifting from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset? And do you have any practices that help you to stay focused on abundance? And if so, share your experience with us on social media. And let's continue this conversation. I also want to remind you that hopefully down in the middle, if I can get it together. We will have that mini ebook of Overcoming Limited Beliefs, but also we got old ebooks, ebooks that we have that give away free. Go sign up for it if you haven't already. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's continue to keep inspiring each other as we grow beyond our limitations and just fully embrace our power to create abundant lives. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to thank you for spending this time with me and just shifting from scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. And it's truly a journey. And I hope today's conversation gave you some valuable insights and tools to begin or deepen that journey. And I hope that you all didn't get lost in my story, but that you were able to grab something from my story that helped to elate your story. Does that make sense? That helped to broaden out your story or understand what your story is about. All right? So remember, abundance is already within you. It's not something that you have to chase. It's a mindset that you have to cultivate, that you can cultivate, and that you can grow each day. So take a moment to reflect on the practices that we discussed today, the gratitude, the visualization. Remember those. And the affirmations. Remember those. And whatever other ones that you have in mind, put that in there. Yeah. And again, I encourage you to join our 10-day book challenge for a deeper dive into these concepts. And don't forget to download the free ebooks as well. All right. Together we're building a community that uplifts each other and supports each other and celebrates the abundance of us all. Until next time, stay abundant, stay grateful, and keep shining your light. Have a good one. Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery and empowerment here at the Season of Self-Love podcast. Remember, embracing self-love is a continuous journey, and we're so glad to have you with us. So if you enjoyed today's episode, please leave us a review. And don't forget to join our community on Facebook at Season of Self-Love. Connect with like-minded individuals who are also on their self-love journey. Now, if you have any questions or topics that you'd like for us to explore, we love to hear from you. Email us at seasonofselflove@gmail.com and let your voice be heard. So until next time, take a moment for yourself today and remember, you are worthy of love, joy, and all the beautiful things that life has to offer.